All right, so welcome to another deep dive. And today we're tackling How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Hmm.
A book I'm guessing a lot of you are interested in.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's a classic for a reason, right?
It is.
We're looking at an 11th edition here.
Okay.
And what's really cool is this is hosted on archive.org.
Yeah.
And get this, over 247,000 views.
That's a lot.
People are still finding value in this book,
Yeah.
even decades later.
It's incredible, isn't it? Even in 2021,
Wow.
someone left a review just thanking archive.org for making it available.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's like a testament to its staying power.
It really is. It's like this book has secrets that just keep people coming back for more.
For sure.
So to help us unpack all this and see how it applies to you today,
Okay.
I've got our expert here ready to make this wisdom come alive.
Happy to be here, I think you'll find.
Yeah.
That while some of the examples might feel a bit vintage,
Yeah.
the core ideas are surprisingly relevant to how we connect today.
Okay, so first let's set the stage.
Okay.
1943, World War II is raging.
Hmm.
What was the vibe back then? And why do you think this book became such a hit
I think
in that climate?
it was such a tumultuous time, right, May?
Yeah.
Imagine a world full of uncertainty and anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
People were just craving some control
Yeah.
and connection.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where Carnegie really nailed it.
Uh-huh.
He gave them practical advice,
Yeah.
almost like a guidebook
Okay.
on how to thrive, even when everything feels like it's falling apart.
So it wasn't just about making friends.
Right.
It was about empowering people
Yeah,
in tough times.
exactly. That empowerment came from understanding the fundamentals of human interaction.
Okay.
One of his key principles
Uh-huh.
is focusing on making people like you.
Okay.
But it's not about tricks or manipulation.
Yeah.
It's about genuine interest in others.
So not just surface level networking,
Yeah.
but really wanting to get to know the person.
Yes, you got it.
Okay.
He tells this story about a botanist
Oh, wow.
who became the hit of a party
Okay.
simply by asking people about their gardens
Really?
and genuinely listening to their answers. You know, in a world that's often focused on self-promotion,
Yeah.
that kind of authentic curiosity can be so powerful.
Yeah. It's like today with social media, everyone's just shouting
Right.
to be heard.
Exactly.
Maybe this quiet, attentive approach
Yeah,
is even more valuable now.
I think so. It's almost a countercultural
Right.
skill
Right.
in the digital age.
Yeah.
And it ties in beautifully with what Carnegie calls the big secret.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
Spill the beans. What's the secret?
It's not about arguing your point harder.
Oh,
It's about understanding the other person's perspective first.
okay.
Figure out what they want,
Uh-huh.
what makes them tick,
Okay.
and then frame your ideas in a way that aligns with their desires.
So less about winning an argument,
Yes.
more about finding that common ground. That makes a lot of sense, especially in a world where it feels like
Yeah.
everyone's just digging in.
It is. It's about building bridges, not walls.
I like that.
And,
Mm.
you know, this resonates with so much modern psychology.
Mm.
Active listening,
Right.
empathy-driven communication.
Yeah.
It's not just about getting your way.
Uh-huh.
It's about creating a win-win.
I love that. It's almost like a mental shift.
Yes.
Instead of thinking, how do I convince them?
Uh-huh.
It's how do we both get what we need out of this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that leads us to another crucial aspect of handling people,
Okay.
avoiding those unnecessary arguments.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It is.
Especially when you feel strongly about something.
It is. But Carnegie argues, even if you're sure you're right,
Uh-huh.
sometimes it's more productive to just acknowledge the other person's viewpoint,
Mm-hmm.
find those points of agreement,
Right.
and then gently guide the conversation towards a solution that works for everyone.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but I can see how constantly trying to win every argument
Yeah.
can be exhausting.
Absolutely.
Not to mention damaging to the relationship.
It breeds resentment rather than resolution.
Hmm.
Carnegie points out that sometimes the best approach
Okay.
is to just acknowledge the other person's feelings
Right.
and then move on to finding solutions.
Okay, so far we've got genuine interest,
Yes?
understanding perspectives,
Oh.
and choosing our battles wisely.
Right.
What else did Carnegie highlight as crucial
Mm.
for navigating those tricky interpersonal moments?
This one's a biggie. Admitting your wrongs quickly and emphatically.
Oh, wow. That takes a lot of guts.
It does.
But I can see how it makes sense.
It disarms the other person,
Yeah.
But it also frees you up to focus on finding solutions.
It's like saying, hey, we're all human. We mess up sometimes.
Exactly.
Let's just fix this together.
Yeah.
Rather than getting stuck in blame mode.
You nailed it. It's about building trust and fostering a sense of shared responsibility.
This is reminding me of how much communication has changed since 1943.
For sure.
We've social media, instant messaging,
Right.
everything's moving so fast.
Yeah.
Do these principles even hold up in today's world?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And the answer might surprise you.
Okay.
In many ways, these principles are even more relevant today.
Really?
Think about it.
Okay.
In our hyper-connected, always-on culture,
Right.
where misunderstandings can just escalate online in a flash,
Yeah.
the ability to listen deeply, empathize with others, and build genuine connections is more critical than ever.
Yeah. It's almost like we need to be more intentional about those things.
Absolutely.
When everything is moving so fast.
Exactly. And the fact that this book from 1943
Right.
is still racking up views on archive.org,
Wow.
that tells us something.
It does.
It's clearly striking a chord across generations.
It's like a reminder that no matter how much technology changes,
Yeah.
the human need for connection remains the same.
Absolutely. While some of Carnegie's specific examples might feel a bit dated,
Okay.
the underlying principles are so timely.
Yeah.
However, there are areas where adaptation is needed. For instance, he talks about the importance of remembering names,
Yeah.
which is still valuable.
Right.
But in today's digital world,
Yeah.
we also need to be mindful of online etiquette
Yeah.
and the nuances of communicating effectively across different platforms.
That's so true.
Right.
It's like a whole new set of social graces to master.
It is.
But that core idea of showing genuine interest and respect, that's timeless.
Absolutely. Whether you're interacting face-to-face or through a screen,
Yeah.
that fundamental principle remains the cornerstone of building strong, meaningful relationships.
All right. So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
And I'm already starting to see how I can use these principles in my own life.
Good.
But before we get too carried away, I want to make sure we bring this back to you, the listener.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all about making these principles actionable
Yeah.
and relevant to your life.
Exactly. So thinking about the challenges you face, whether it's at work, in your personal relationships, or even online.
Yeah.
What stands out to you as particularly relevant from what we've discussed so far?
I think.
Yeah.
It's amazing how these ideas from 1943 are speaking directly to
Yeah.
the things we struggle with today. If you're finding it hard to connect or get your point across, maybe revisiting those ideas about genuine interest,
Right.
understanding other people's perspectives could
Yeah.
be really helpful.
Okay.
Oh, and don't forget about avoiding unnecessary arguments.
So important. It's like a reminder to slow down.
Yeah.
And remember, we're dealing with human beings,
Right.
not just tasks or opinions to be managed.
Exactly.
In fact, one of the things that really struck me in the book was that idea of making people feel important
Ah, yes.
and doing it sincerely.
That's a powerful one.
Yeah.
Carnegie argues that everyone craves a sense of significance. And by acknowledging their contributions, their talents, even just their presence
Right.
in a meaningful way, we unlock incredible motivation.
This is making me think about how we give feedback at work.
Yeah.
Instead of just jumping into the critique, maybe starting with what someone did well
Yes.
could make a huge difference.
Exactly. It's not about empty flattery.
Right.
It's about genuine appreciation.
Yeah.
And it aligns so well with the idea of servant leadership, focusing on empowering others to reach their full potential.
It's a much more human-centered approach
It is.
than the old command and control style.
And it speaks to the heart of Carnegie's message.
Okay.
He's not about manipulation.
Right.
He's about genuine connection and collaboration.
Yeah, I'm realizing that so much of what we've talked about is about shifting our focus from ourselves to the other person.
Yes.
It's almost a mental reset.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
And speaking of impactful communication,
Okay.
there's another technique Carnegie highlights that I think is especially relevant today.
Okay. What's that?
Dramatizing your idea.
That drama time.
Okay, you're going to have to explain that one.
Okay.
I'm picturing like a full-on stage production.
Well, maybe not that dramatic.
Yeah.
But the idea is to make your ideas come alive, engage people's emotions and imaginations.
Okay.
He argues that dry facts and figures rarely stick with people,
Right.
but a compelling story,
Uh-huh.
a vivid analogy,
Yeah.
a touch of humor.
Yeah.
Those are the things that make a real impact.
Oh, that makes sense. I'm way more likely to remember a point
Yeah.
if it's connected to a story.
Exactly.
It's like when a speaker uses a personal anecdote
Yes.
to illustrate their message.
Exactly. It's how we're wired. We connect with narratives, with emotions.
Right.
So if you want to make a lasting impression, find ways to bring your ideas to life in a way that resonates with your audience.
It's the difference between being lectured at
Yeah.
and feeling like you're part of the conversation.
Perfectly put.
Right.
And this is even more important today
Uh-huh.
with our short attention spans
So true.
and constant information overload.
Yeah, if you want to cut through the noise, you need to
You have to.
capture people's attention and make them care.
Absolutely.
Now, I know Carnegie also talked about throwing down a challenge.
Yes.
What did he mean by that?
He believed that people are motivated by purpose and achievement,
Okay.
by presenting them with a challenge, especially one that aligns with their values or goals.
Right.
You tap into that intrinsic drive to succeed.
So instead of just telling someone what to do,
Yeah.
you frame it as something they can own
Yes.
and feel proud of accomplishing.
You got it. It's about giving people the opportunity to rise to the occasion,
Right.
to stretch themselves
Okay.
and grow.
I can see how that could be incredibly motivating,
It is.
both in personal and professional settings.
Absolutely. And this idea is backed up by tons of research on goal setting and motivation.
Yep.
People are more likely to commit to something
Uh-huh.
if they feel like they're part of the process,
Right.
if they have a stake in the outcome.
You know, it's incredible how these principles, written decades ago,
I know.
are so applicable to the challenges we face today.
It really is remarkable.
It's like you had a crystal ball.
I think it speaks to the enduring nature of human psychology.
Yeah.
While the tools and technologies we use may change,
Right.
the fundamental principles of connecting with others and achieving success remain constant.
Speaking of which,
Okay.
we've got this 11th edition sitting on archive.org,
We do.
racking up over 247,000 views. Almost 900 favorites.
That's amazing.
What does that tell you about this book's lasting impact?
I think it's a testament to the timelessness of these principles. You know, in a world of fleeting trends,
Yeah.
this book just continues to resonate across generations. It's a reminder that genuine connection, respect, and collaboration
Right.
are always in style.
And the fact that it's so easily accessible online,
Right.
free for anyone to download, just adds to its impact.
For sure.
It's like democratizing wisdom.
Exactly. And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe someone reading this book today will be inspired to write their own guide to human connection in the digital age.
That would be amazing. It's like a
Yes.
continuous conversation, a
Yeah.
passing of the torch from one generation to the next.
Yes.
We build on the wisdom of those who came before us. And hopefully those who come after us will build on ours.
Beautifully put.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what this deep dive is all about, giving you the tools and insights to navigate that conversation
Yeah.
with more confidence and skill.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have?
From genuine interest and understanding perspectives
Right.
to dramatizing our ideas and throwing down challenges.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with something specific, something you can take action on right now.
A challenge?
Absolutely. But this one is tailored to you,
Okay.
the listener, taking everything we've explored today into account. What one small change will you try in your interactions this week?
That's a fantastic challenge.
Yeah.
It really forces you to focus
Yeah.
on what resonates most with you
Right.
and how you can put these principles into practice right away.
Exactly. We're not talking about like a complete personality overhaul or anything.
Right.
Just pick one thing that speaks to you and try it out this week. Maybe it's starting your next feedback conversation
Yeah.
with genuine appreciation,
Okay.
or making an effort to truly listen to someone's perspective before jumping in with your own.
And the best part is
Yeah.
you get to observe the results. Pay attention to how people respond, how the dynamics of your interactions shift.
It's like a mini experiment
Yes.
in human connection.
Exactly.
I love that. And you know, before we let you go,
Okay.
I have to mention all those different download options on archive.org.
Oh, yeah.
Daisy Hosier?
It's amazing.
It's like they're making sure that this wisdom is accessible to everyone,
Yeah.
regardless of how they learn best.
It speaks to their commitment to making knowledge available and ensuring that everyone can benefit from these timeless insights.
Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive.
We have.
Into how to win friends and influence people. But this is really just the beginning of your journey with this book.
Yes.
We've given you a taste of its wisdom,
right?
A glimpse into how it can transform your interactions.
Absolutely.
Now it's your turn to explore further, experiment, and discover the power of these principles in your own life.
And remember, connecting with others is a lifelong journey, one that requires effort, empathy, and a willingness to learn and grow.
But the rewards are immeasurable.
They are.
So go out there, put these ideas into practice, and watch your relationships flourish. Until next time.
Yes.
Keep diving deep